So yesterday we began our countdown of every Premier League club's record outgoing transfer, ending part 1 with Michael Keane's £25 million move to Everton from Burnley. It's now time for the final 10 teams, so let's get going. In 10th place is Southampton, whose record outgoing transfer is Sadio Mane for £34 million to Liverpool. Of all the transfers from Southampton to Liverpool, Sadio Mane's was the most expensive, but definitely the most worthwhile as well, because the Senegalese forward has taken his game to a whole new level since moving to Anfield. At Southampton he was maybe inconsistent at times and wasteful, but with better players around him at Anfield, Mane is one of the Premier League's most feared forwards, and Klopp's men are a much worse side without him when he's injured. In joint 8th place is Leicester City, whose record outgoing transfer is Danny Drinkwater to Chelsea for £35 million. The champions have spent almost £80 million on Leicester City's title-winning midfielders, with N'Golo Kante being reunited with Drinkwater after a year apart. While Kante could manage on his own and picked up another Premier League title, Drinkwater hasn't had anywhere near the same success, but somehow ended up costing Chelsea more money. It's been an injury-hit start to life at Stamford Bridge for Drinkwater, but I doubt he'll be that big a player for them anyway. Next up it's Newcastle United, whose record outgoing transfer is Andy Carroll at Liverpool for £35 million. The Magpies had a reputation of selling their best players for big money a few years ago, and Andy Carroll was the biggest of the lot, after the big Geordie had scored the goals to help them back into the Premier League, then hit 11 Premier League goals in the first half of the season back in the top flight. With Fernando Torres heading to Chelsea, Liverpool needed a new striker and turned to the Newcastle man, paying a then club record £35 million, which long story short was an absolute waste, so it was a good job they signed Luis Suarez on the same day. In 7th place is Arsenal, whose record outgoing transfer is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to Liverpool for £35 million. Back-to-back players heading to Liverpool for mega bucks, the Ox's move could potentially rise to £40 million in what was a pretty pointless signing for Jurgen Klopp, spending stupid money on a midfielder whilst ignoring their centre-back failures. Oxlade-Chamberlain has had an okay start to life at Anfield, but at least Klopp seems pleased. In 6th place is Swansea City, whose record outgoing transfer is Gylfi Sigurdsson to Everton for £40 million. A Merseyside hat-trick and the second record outgoing transfer to arrive at Goodison Park this summer, Sigurdsson has been the biggest disappointment at Everton this season, not justifying his club record fee, often being played out of position, questioning why Ronald Koeman signed him in the first place. The Icelandic midfielder has been a massive flop so far at Everton, and Swansea aren't doing any better without him, with the money not being used wisely by Swansea, with the Welsh club struggling once again this season. In 5th place it's Chelsea, whose record outgoing transfer is Oscar to Shanghai SIPG for £60 million. The Chinese Super League was threatening to take away all of the world's talent, with the most expensive arrival being Oscar from Chelsea, leaving the Premier League and heading to the riches of China with a chance of being the face of a division, rather than just another player at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea would win the Premier League title without Oscar, while the Brazilian had a pretty disappointing first season in the CSL, missing penalties and causing brawls, picking up an 8-game ban for causing a huge fight after kicking the ball twice at a Guangzhou Evergrande player. In 4th place is Liverpool, whose record outgoing transfer is Luis Suarez to Barcelona for £75 million. While there's talk of Felipe Coutinho heading to the Nou Camp still, there's no way that transfer will hurt as much as it did when Suarez left Liverpool. The Uruguayan had become their talisman, scoring at an unbelievable rate to almost deliver them the Premier League title, but his form caught the attention of Barcelona as they linked him up with Lionel Messi and Neymar to form the infamous MSN. Suarez went on to be named alongside the world's elite with his form in La Liga, while Liverpool haven't been close to the Premier League title since. In 3rd place it's Everton, whose record outgoing transfer is Romelu Lukaku for £75 million to Manchester United. Potentially rising to £90 million, Romelu Lukaku finally got his move to a Champions League club this summer, joining Jose Mourinho's Manchester United after scoring 25 Premier League goals last season. The Red Devils have benefited from the Belgian, who started brilliantly at Old Trafford, but has hit problems against the big clubs, while Everton are desperate without him, failing to bring in a striker to fill the void left by Lukaku. In 2nd place it's Manchester United, whose record outgoing transfer is Cristiano Ronaldo for £80 million to Real Madrid. A world record signing at the time, Manchester United were powerless to resist Ronaldo's desires to join Real Madrid, his dream club after some incredible years in the Premier League, where he started to become the world-class superstar he is today. Real Madrid saw Ronaldo's game go to an even higher level, reinventing himself as one of the deadliest forwards around, with 33 goals being his lowest tally in a season, and that was in his first season at the Bernabeu. There's been talk of Ronaldo being unsettled in Madrid and wanting a return to Manchester, but I can't see that happening anytime soon sadly. And at number 1 it's Tottenham, whose record outgoing transfer is Gareth Bale for £85 million to Real Madrid. A second world record transfer to Real Madrid, 5 years after Ronaldo joined Los Blancos, his deal was eclipsed by Gareth Bale, who became the world's most expensive player until Paul Pogba's move to Manchester United. Bale had been a superstar at Tottenham, a far cry from the left back he once was, and while he's had many moments of genius at Madrid, the past year or so has been riddled with injury. As for Tottenham, they wasted most of the £85 million they received for Bale, another masterstroke from Daniel Levy. So that's every Premier League club's record outgoing transfer in order of price. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.